Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you about a massive ban wave on Twitch in 2021 in March. Now, I'm going to break down first how I found this. Sheef addressed my latest claims today. As usual, he said I was a liar, said I never proved anything, and blah, blah, blah. So I got caught in this massive I went down this massive rabbit hole today about checking Sheef's entire career and his statistics, and I did a bit of research about view botting and follower botting and all that kind of stuff on Twitch and YouTube. I found in March 2021, Twitch had actually purged 7.5 million bot accounts that were being used in conjunction with websites that were selling views and selling follows. Now, I first found a jump in Sheef's numbers, in his statistics in this March 2021 period. Then while I was also looking at some other streamers, I noticed the same. And I found out that a lot of these EFT streamers were indulging in massive view botting and massive follower botting. And the reason I can prove this is because of this massive ban wave of these bot accounts. Now, you're going to see that some of these streamers lose chunks of their following during these ban waves of these bots. And I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you each streamer and whether they were affected by the ban wave of these bots. You'll find out if they were indulging in view botting or follower botting. Let's get into it. So during this 7.5 million account ban wave, Sheef on Twitch went from 48,500 followers down to 19,500. That is more than half of his following was entirely bots. That is literally, that is nearly 2/3 of his following was bots. He is currently at 220,000. It would not surprise me in the slightest if 2/3 of his following now is once again bots. Just like it was in 2020, in 2021, when Twitch managed to find a way to ban these 7.5 million accounts and Sheef lost 2/3 of his following. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. You cannot sit there and pretend that 2/3 or more than half of your following just being entirely bots. You cannot just sit there and shrug your shoulders and say, "Oh, well, how would I know? Like, come on, man. Like, how's that my fault? Like, what's that got to do with me? I didn't do nothing wrong." Dude, if you have if you have 50,000 followers and Twitch does a ban wave for bot accounts that are being sold for bot following and bot views, and then you all of a sudden lose nearly 2/3 of your following, in my opinion, you are a complete fraud. You are an absolute fraud, and you are paying daily to be at the top of the recommended list, and you are just a flat out scammer. You're just the bottom of the barrel. You are not what you're claiming to be. You're a flat out liar and a flat out scammer. 2/3 of your following gets hit with a ban wave in 2021 on May 5th, May 1st to May 5th. That is mind-blowing. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Let's move on to our next streamer. Okay, let's have a little look at WillerZ here. So before the ban wave, he was at 162,000. After the ban wave, he was at 154,760. So he lost about 7,000 accounts, 7,000 followers out of his 162. That's a very low percentage. That's like 3 or 4% of his entire following. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it could be, you never, I don't know. I would say you're definitely involved in botting if you're up over 20% or 30%, but 3 or 4 or 5%, I'd say you could probably have no idea about that and not even know how that would even happen. Let me know what you guys think. What percentage is questionable to you guys? What percentage of a streamer's following disappearing on a bot BANWAVE is considered to be suspicious to the point where that person has 100% bought followers on their streaming platform on Twitch? For WillerZ, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt here. 162, 500 down to 154, 800. Yeah, I'd give the benefit of the doubt on that one. It's a low percentage. It's very low. It's like 2 to 4% of his following got chunked off. I'd probably say 3%. It's not much at all. Okay, so TigZ on March 25th, 2021, 28 was on 37,200 accounts. After the BANWAVE, he dropped to 22,200 followers. So TigZ lost about a third of his following after this massive BANWAVE. And it took him a good time to gain it back till pretty much the end of that year, to get back to where he was after the BANWAVE. Oh, looks like there's another BANWAVE here too. Little one. Unless maybe he just lost like 1,000 followers that day. I don't know. But yeah, TigZ 37 down to 22. Sheesh. TigZ was heavily caught up in view botting and follower botting, it seems. TigZ, man. What were you doing? What were you doing, bro? 1/3 of his following. Whew. Jesus. And then you just see these massive jumps here. Oh, it'd be so amazing if there was another BANWAVE, man. It would be so crazy just to see the percentage of these streamers and how much of their following is fake. Oh, it would be so crazy. But anyway, so there's TigZ from 37 down to 22 after the BANWAVE. And then he just has this insane jump from 31 to 70 within a space of a couple of months. But anyway, on to the next streamer. I did look at Stank Rat. However, he was a very small streamer at the time of this BANWAVE. He only had like 2,000 or 3,000 followers at the time. So that seems to be the case for Desmond Pilak as well. He had 4,380. He went down to like 4,000. So he lost like 200 and something, which is like, yeah, it ain't much. And then he pretty much grows a ton since then. Yeah, so Stank Rat and Desmond Pilak were quite small at the time. You can't really, there's not even really a difference to be able to tell. Okay, next up we have Gingy, and this one is looking like the worst so far. Gingy on April 4th, 2021 had 209,200 followers. After the bot BANWAVE, she dropped down to 127,000 followers. That is like half. She halved her following due to a BANWAVE of bots. She lost half of her following. That is insane. And then it took her again till about a year later for her to grow that back. That is crazy. From 209 down to 120. That's about, I'd say, 40% of her following. That's worse than Sheef. That is a lot, man. That's worse than Sheef. She dropped like 4. Sheef was like a third. So Sheef was about 31, 32%. Gingy is like 40%. Like she got absolutely hammered. Like her following halved almost. Now she's at 305. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like how much of their viewership is real. That is crazy. That is crazy. I want to know like what people were saying when all this happened. Like what were people saying when they were coming to the streams? Were they like, whoa, you just lost like 30, 40% of your following. What happened? I wonder what they were saying to their viewers. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened, man. I don't know. Like, surely a lot of, like, how was no one calling it all out? How was no one saying, yo, all these bots just got banned. How come you just lost half your following? Like, what was happening? What was everyone doing? Like, did no one call this out? This is crazy that no one called this out. This is wild. All right, now we got Trey 24K, and there is no effect on his channel whatsoever. He did not lose one account during this ban wave. He did not lose one follower. He stayed consistent the entire way through. He didn't lose one. So there you go. Trey 24K did not lose one account. So yeah, he sailed smooth the whole way through. No, oh, tiny little bump, but it's like, it's not even noticeable. He might have just said something bad on stream that day. I don't know. Okay, Hyperrat. So Hyperrat has a really strange, I don't know, this is weird. I don't know what this is. But anyway, he is at 72,500, but then after the ban wave, he drops down to 43,000. And then it takes him a good 6 months to get it back. But there's definitely some weird behavior here. This is, I don't know what's, because he's at like 21 in February. Then he goes up to like 70. Then he goes down to 42. But then he coasts normally again. It's almost like a third or a quarter of the bots didn't get banned there. Yeah, that's weird. Some of the streamers are like, they coast for a while before the ban wave. And some of them, there's sort of like a little pop before. And it's kind of, yeah, I don't know, it's strange. And then he has just these massive jumps as well. 72 down to 43. So, about 30% of his following disappeared that day. Yeah, it's definitely strange, isn't it? It's not normal behavior. There's definitely something going on. Definitely something going on. If you guys know in the comments what was going on at this time in 2021 and what was with this, because some streamers just, it doesn't affect them at all, but some streamers it does. And from what I've noticed is the streamers that are being accused of this view botting stuff and this embedding and all this other stuff, it's usually them who lose a very noticeable chunk on this ban wave. So it's definitely interesting. It's really interesting. Okay, glorious. This one, I kind of thought this one would just be a smooth sailor, but there's a couple little bumps in here. So on the ban wave, he goes from 67,800 down to 60,600. I also noticed there's a couple of down bumps for him as well. There's 89,400 here down to 84,800. I can't see any reason why Glorious would lose 3,000 to 5,000 followers in a day. I just can't see it unless it's bot accounts being banned. So 89 down to 84, and then there's another one here where it goes from 213 down to 209. So that's 4,000 as well. Like, what would be the reason Glorious would lose 4,000 followers in a day other than bots being banned? There's another 5,000. And then here's 7,000. I don't know. I definitely think that, I don't know. I wonder what kind of percentage would be just normal of accounts being banned, that as opposed to someone that's involved with view and follow botting. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, Pettily, he was on 902.70, 902.700, and 894. It's barely even noticeable. It's like 0.01% of his viewership was bumped out in the bot ban wave. Oh, whoa. Wait, when's this? There, that's the one we're looking for. There. He had another time where he lost lots of followers. Whoa, what happened here? 551 down to 467. Holy smokes. That's like 100,000 of his followers in a day. What happened there? When is that? I'd like to know when that is. Jesus. Is that 2020? March 2020? The ban wave we're talking about is in 2021, in April. I wonder what happened there. What did Pettily do to lose 100,000 followers in a day? Unless that was a different BANWAVE. That's a lot, bro. But anyway, that's the actual bot BANWAVE, and it's like 0.01% of his following that he loses. It's not much. It's not even noticeable. But yeah. Okay, we have Jesse Kazam, and there's virtually nothing on him when it happened. Nothing at all. He stays pretty solid the whole way through. There's absolutely no bump down in his whatsoever. So Jesse Kazam did not lose one follower during the bot BANWAVE. It's crazy how some streamers, the ones that have never ever been accused of view blotting or anything like that, some of them just, they don't even lose one account. They literally lose nothing. And it's like, you're like, oh, yeah. But then the other shady ones, they always lose a chunk. And it's like, oh, you know? But yeah. Yeah, Jesse Kazam, nothing. He never loses any. Pretty consistent the whole way through. Lvndmark is same as Pettily, kind of. Just a tiny little smidge in there that in the grand scheme of things is like 0.001%. It's not much. It's like you just see like a tiny little bump, and that's about it, really. Same thing as Pettily.